Roblox player joined a random game late at night, and a few minutes later, it started talking to him. Not in chat, not like a normal player, but like something that already knew who he was. This is the story of Daniel and why he never played Roblox alone again. Daniel was 16, the kind of person who spent more time online than in real life, not because he wanted to escape everything, but because online felt easier, quieter, safer. At school, he had a few friends, nothing serious, nothing deep, just people to talk to during breaks. But once he got home, everything went silent. His parents worked late, the house felt empty, and most nights it was just him, his room, and his computer screen lighting up the dark. Roblox was part of his routine, not even something exciting anymore, just something familiar. He would open it, scroll through games, join something random, leave after a few minutes, repeat. It was normal, nothing strange ever happened, until one night. It was around 1:30 a.m. Daniel couldn't sleep, so he did what he always did. He opened Roblox and started scrolling. But this time, something caught his attention. A game with no thumbnail, no description, just a name, watching_you. At first, he thought it was some kind of joke, maybe a horror game, something made for attention. But what was strange was the player count. It said one player, and that player was him. He hadn't even joined yet. He stared at the screen for a few seconds, confused, thinking maybe it was a bug, maybe Roblox was glitching, but then curiosity got the better of him. He clicked. The game loaded slowly, much slower than usual, just a black screen at first. Then a small room appeared, empty, no music, no interface, just silence. His character spawned in the middle of the room, no other players, or at least that's what it looked like. Daniel moved around a bit, testing controls, looking for something, anything, but there was nothing there. No doors, no windows, just four walls. Okay, weird, he muttered to himself. He opened the player list. It only showed one name, his. That's when he thought about leaving, but then something appeared in the chat. Hello, Daniel. He froze. He didn't type anything. He hadn't even opened a chat yet. For a second, he thought maybe it was delayed, maybe someone joined and left, maybe it was just lag. But then another message appeared, "You're finally here." His heart started beating faster. He typed back, "Who is this?" A few seconds passed, no response. Then suddenly, turn around. Daniel laughed nervously. "Yeah, very funny," he said, trying to convince himself it was just a game, just someone trolling. But something about it felt off. The silence, the timing, the way it used his name. And then another message appeared, "I can see you." That's when he stopped moving completely, because at that exact moment, he heard something behind him, not in the game, in his room, a small sound, like something shifting. He turned around slowly. Nothing, just his room, his chair, his door slightly open, darkness in the hallway. He stared for a few seconds, then turned back to the screen. "Okay, not funny anymore," he whispered. But the chat wasn't done. "You should close your door." Daniel's stomach dropped, because his door was open, and he hadn't told anyone that. He stood up quickly and shut it, almost slamming it without thinking, then sat back down, staring at the screen. "Who are you?" he typed again, his hands slightly shaking now. This time the response came instantly, "You don't need to know." Silence again, and that's when something changed. The room in the game wasn't empty anymore. There was something in the corner now, something that wasn't there before. A figure, standing still, not moving, just watching. Daniel leaned closer to the screen. The figure had no face, just a dark shape. "What is that?" he whispered. No answer, but then the chat updated again. "Do you like it?" At this point, Daniel wasn't laughing anymore. He wasn't even thinking clearly, because whatever this was, it didn't feel like a normal Roblox game. It felt personal, too personal. And here's the part that makes this even stranger. Daniel later said that this is the moment everything stopped feeling like a game and started feeling real. So before we go further, if you've ever played Roblox late at night alone with your lights off, hit like and subscribe right now. Not just because it helps the channel, but because what happens next might make you think twice before doing that again. Because Daniel didn't stop. Even after all of this, he stayed, and that decision is where everything went wrong. Daniel didn't leave.
Even after everything that had just happened, even after the messages, the sound behind him, the way the game seemed to know things it shouldn't, he stayed. And that's the moment he later said he regretted the most, because the second he looked back at the screen, the figure in the corner was closer. Not by much, just a few steps forward, but enough to notice, enough to feel wrong. Daniel's eyes locked onto it, his breathing slower now, more controlled, like he was trying not to panic. Okay, this is just scripted, he whispered to himself, trying to make sense of it, trying to convince himself there was a logical explanation, but deep down he already knew something wasn't right. The chat updated again. "Why did you close the door?" Daniel didn't answer this time. He just stared at the message, because now it wasn't just creepy, it was specific, too specific. And then another message appeared. It was better when it was open. That's when Daniel felt it again, that same feeling, like someone was there. Not in the game, behind him. He didn't turn around this time. He didn't want to. Instead, he slowly reached for his headset and took it off, listening carefully. Silence. No footsteps, no movement, just the faint hum of his computer. He let out a breath. "I'm just overthinking this," he said quietly. But the game wasn't done. The lights inside the game room flickered once, then again, and then everything went dark. For a split second, the screen went completely black, and when it came back, the figure was gone. Daniel leaned forward, confused. "Where did it go?" he muttered. No response, no movement, nothing, just the empty room again. For a moment, everything felt normal. Almost too normal. And then the chat updated. "Look behind you." This time he didn't hesitate. He turned instantly. His door was slightly open again, just a few inches. Daniel froze because he knew he closed it. He stood up slowly, his chair creaking behind him, and stared at the door. "Hello?" he called out, his voice barely steady. No answer. He took a step closer, then another. His heart pounding now, louder than anything else in the room. He reached the door and pushed it open fully. The hallway was empty, dark, quiet, nothing there. He stood there for a few seconds, scanning the hallway, listening for anything. Still, nothing. Finally, he closed the door again, this time locking it. He turned back to his desk, and that's when he saw it. The game was no longer on his screen. His desktop was open, and in the center of it was a text file. He didn't remember opening anything. Slowly, he moved the mouse and clicked it. The file opened. One line of text. "You should have left." Daniel's hands started shaking again. He didn't open anything. He didn't download anything. So how was this here? He quickly checked his browser history. Nothing. Downloads. Empty. But the file was still there. And then his phone buzzed. He looked at it. Unknown number. One message. "Why aren't you playing anymore?" At that point, Daniel didn't think. He didn't question anything. He just shut everything down. He turned off his computer, grabbed his phone, and sat on his bed, staring at the screen. "This isn't real," he whispered to himself. "It can't be real." But the message was still there. And then another one came in. "I'm still watching." Daniel threw his phone onto the bed like it burned him. He stood up, pacing around the room now, trying to calm himself down, trying to think. "Okay, someone is messing with me," he said. "That's all this is." But something didn't add up. No one knew he was playing. No one knew the name of that game. No one knew his door was open. Unless they could see him. That thought hit him hard. He slowly looked around his room. His window closed, curtains slightly open, his closet shut, his door locked. Nowhere for anyone to be. And yet, the messages kept coming. His phone buzzed again. He didn't want to look, but he did. "Turn on your computer." Daniel hesitated. Every instinct told him not to, but curiosity is what got him into this in the first place. Slowly, he walked back to his desk. His hands still shaking, he pressed the power button. The screen lit up, the computer started, and as soon as it loaded, Roblox opened automatically. The same game, the same room, but this time it wasn't empty. The figure was right in front of him now, close, too close. and for the first time, it had a face, or something that looked like one, distorted, wrong, like it didn't belong. Daniel leaned back in his chair, his heart racing uncontrollably now. The chat appeared one last time. "Now you see me." And then the screen went black, completely black. No desktop, no cursor, nothing, just darkness. Daniel sat there, frozen, staring at the screen. And then his reflection appeared, not from the game, from the monitor. His own face, pale, scared, and behind him, something moved. Daniel turned around instantly. Nothing, just his room again, empty, silent. But when he turned back to the screen, the reflection was gone, and so was the game. It was like it never existed. No history, no files, no trace, just gone. The next day, Daniel tried to find the game again. He searched the name, nothing. He checked recently played, nothing. It was like it had never been there. He even asked his friends if they knew anything about it. No one did. And to this day, he still doesn't know what that was. A hacker? A glitch? Or something else entirely? But one thing he knows for sure, he never plays Roblox alone at night anymore. So if you ever see a game with no thumbnail, no description, and it somehow already knows your name, maybe don't click it. And if you made it this far, tell me honestly in the comments, would you have left the game earlier, or would you have stayed just like Daniel?